You can become your environment or you can choose your environment. You can't always choose what you show up to, but you can always choose how you show up. And I allowed myself to become my environment. I became toxic. I didn't communicate well. It was just a negative environment. And the only person I tried to avoid was our manager because she was mean. She was always yelling at people. She was always belittling people. And she would just tear you apart. She always seemed unhappy. And misery loves company. And she was always ready to recruit you to her team. And so I became like my environment. And I remember thinking every day, I want to quit. Life is not worth it anymore. I mean, that's what a job can do. It made me physically sick to go to work. And then here's where it changed. The phone rang. And I answered it, and I heard a woman start yelling at me on the other line. She goes, "I did not raise you to answer the phone that way." I'm like, "You got the wrong number, Mom." And then I was at Sunday dinner, and as we were at Sunday dinner, I told my mom, I said, "I can't work there anymore. The people aren't nice." I said, "It's toxic." I said, "I quit." She goes, "You're not quitting." My mom was at a garage sale, and she got one of those calendars. You ever seen those calendars that might have a motivational quote on it? Well, it wasn't the right year. When your parents give you a calendar that's not the right year, you're like, are we at that point? And so what happened was my mom says, "Just ignore the date." She goes, "Don't worry about it. I paid a nickel for this." She goes, "Read those little positive quotes on there." She goes, "Maybe if you read something good and put something good will come out. And you change yourself for the better. You can make a positive contribution. You can share the best of who you are. Something good, something kind, something meaningful, something helpful." And so anyways, I'll never forget, I was on my 2.5-hour lunch break, and I was looking over at that calendar. And when I saw that calendar, I remember the first quote. It was by a speaker by the name of Les Brown. It said, "If you can look up, you can get up." I'm like, I don't even know what that means. And I looked up, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. But I kept repeating it over and over again. The thoughts wired together, and it hit me. I'm like, yeah, I get it. If you can look up, you can get up. And I felt it. And they had a huge whiteboard right by my desk, and they never used it, so I was inspired to take initiative, so I took out colored markers. And I wrote those quotes up every day, and every day everybody would stop in and just read the quote. It was your choice to read it or not. It was your choice to believe it or not. If you did, it probably made your day better. This was me sharing my popcorn. And so every day I would write these quotes, and they would look forward to them. And then finally, the internship was up. And they brought us all into a conference room, and it was a huge celebration. I was like, is this because I'm leaving? And then they did some recognition, and I believe in recognition. They all got up, and I didn't realize, and sometimes you never know when, where, or how, your popcorn, your greatness, what is meaningful and special to you, will impact somebody's life. And so anyways, 2 people had got up that I had worked with, and they said, "I just want to thank Sam. Those quotes every day have kept me going. Things have been tough." And they shared their story. And this is the thing, is everybody's got a story, and your contribution can make a difference in somebody's story. And then finally my manager got up, the woman who was never nice to anybody. She was always mean. She always had a toxic attitude. But in this moment, we broke through. The popcorn got to her. She got up and she says, "I would like to make a toast." It was the first time I ever heard her speak very calmly. And when you're in a leadership role, there's a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of pressure, a lot of expectation, burnout, trying to keep morale up. But in this moment, she showed a little bit of humanness. She said, "I just want to thank Mr. Glenn. Because of him, today I am now pregnant." Everyone started clapping. Everyone was laughing. The guy next to me is just like, "That's what you do in the copy room?" And then I'm kind of panicking. I'm like, I don't think I'm involved in this. Can you? And then she started laughing. I never saw the woman smile. And she smiled and she said, "I'm not pregnant by him. I'm pregnant by my husband." And then she went on to say, We've been fighting for 5 years about having children. I've never wanted to bring children into this negative world. You see, that was her attitude and how she saw everything. She interpreted everything as bad, but I created a different interpretation by sharing my popcorn. And she said, I saw what your mom did for you and how you showed up every day with a smile, even on the stressful days. And you always put a little quote up there for everybody to lift our spirits. And then she looked down and she says, I don't know if I'm going to have a girl or a boy, but I hope they turn out as good as you. And I was like, I'll just take cash under the table.